Thank you for tuning in today as we continue our week of spiritual renewal and our Advent Tell series, A Call to Prayer. The prayer I have chosen to reflect on today is called the Prayer of St. Francis. So, first, how about some interesting facts about this famous prayer? For many years, the prayer of St. Francis was ascribed to St. Francis of Assisi. But the reality is, modern research has established the real author of this famous prayer remains unknown. What we do know about this prayer is that it is also commonly known as the Peace Prayer. And it began to gain popularity here in the United States during the First and Second World Wars, and even during the Cold War. Finally, it's been a prayer recited as part of many notable invocations, such as by Pope John Paul II, Margaret Thatcher, Mother Teresa, and Desmond Tutu. So with that as a brief backdrop, let's turn to Michelle Gordon as she shares.
Thanks, Jeff. I'll be reading the prayer of St. Francis. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring love. Where there is offense, let me bring pardon. Where there is discord, let me bring union. Where there is error, let me bring truth. Where there is doubt, let me bring faith. Where there is despair, let me bring hope. And where there is darkness, let me bring your light. Where there is sadness, let me bring joy. O Master, let me not seek as much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that one receives. It is in self-forgetting that one finds. It is in pardoning that one is pardoned. It is in dying that one is raised to eternal life.
One of the reasons this prayer has played an important role in my life is because I find it to be loaded with spiritual meaning. For instance, the words of the first few lines clearly indicate how we should live our daily lives. In this world full of darkness, despair, and sorrow, we should be people who promote light, hope, and joy. I also find this prayer is all about living our lives just as Jesus did in his time and his ministry here on earth. Living as Christ did is the most effective way of reflecting the image of God through our lives as his creation. Another reason this prayer is special to me is because it speaks about how life is really about personal transformation. Moving from darkness to light, from sadness to joy, from despair to hope. Which reminds me that life is about direction. And as I have grown in my relationship with God, I have discovered that He is the ultimate source that encourages me to move in the direction of wanting to live a life of wholeness and well-being. And ultimately, the negatives become positives through the transformative work of our God. So in closing, I find the prayer of St. Francis to be the perfect prayer to encourage us during these difficult times we are all living in today. Doubt, despair, darkness, and sadness are at an all-time high. But the prayer of St. Francis calls us to be instruments of peace. As it says in Matthew 5:16, I encourage all of us to let our light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify our Father in heaven. we would love to hear thoughts and special prayer requests that you may have. To do that, I invite you to share those through the link listed below. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your prayers.